I do want to... What map were we just on? Oh, there we go. Never mind. I do want to thank our sponsors real quickly here while we're in a quick break. We have Quick Tech Computers and Repair for all your computer repair needs and your custom builds. We have 70M Gaming, which does, they own a ton of consoles, a ton of copies of Halo 4. Really big into the gaming community. Pretty good guys there. And Hampsters wasn't moving at all. There we go. Now he's finally going to be doing stuff. And we also have Condemned Custom Controllers, who has a pretty self-explanatory name. So make sure, go out, email them, thank them for doing work with Hespa here, because we don't have that many sponsors, and they're pretty awesome for helping us out. Spawning on the left-hand side here, frick. Oh, I forgot the name. Is it Abyssal City? Crap, I forgot to look up the map name. I think it's Abyssal City. On the left-hand side, it is going to be our orange Zerg player, losing the previous game, going to be trying to take it to an ace match with a win here. It is going to be Hampsters. Spawning on the right-hand side is our red Terran player, winning the first game after holding off a proxy Thor all-in. Just think about it, folks. It is going to be the red Terran player, MilkyNipples. So we'll see if Hampsters has something as interesting to offer this game as he did in the previous game. I don't exactly know what crazy stuff you can do as Zerg, except for a proxy hatchery, which we saw quite favored by Roach Gellion a couple of months back. So maybe that's exactly what Hampsters are going to be going for. We're just going to have to kind of wait and see. No spawning pool on the field yet, which leads me to believe it will be a hatchery first here. And yep, it looks like that drone going to be dancing around in the expansion. Oh, will he get it down before the SCV blocks it? No, he will not be able to, unfortunately. That drone had a lot of moving around to do. And oh, engineering bay blocks the natural expansion. That's just going to be so annoying. The engineering bay players have decided is the most oh, that drone's actually attacking the E bay rather than the SCV. So that engineering bay is actually going to get to 99% completion probably, and then be halted. The reason players do the engineering bay, it's the cheapest for the most health. It gives you the most health for the least amount of minerals, I believe it is. And actually, I'm gonna be honest, I don't play Terran. How much is an engineering bay? It's 125. Something was in the back of my head was telling me 75, and I don't know why exactly. Oh, that SCV actually going to be somehow living there. Going to be getting caught next to that investment geyser, but is going to get out just fine. Engineering bay, once again, going to be lasting for quite some time here. Over back in MilkyNipples base, we are going to be having the barracks, the factory, but no command center quite yet. So we'll have to see if we do see that reactor going down on the factory, which, I mean, I can only imagine we are going to be. Oh, pardon me, a reactor going down on the barracks, which you need to start about at halfway completion of the factory. That engineering bay, my goodness, only 4 Zerglings just now, almost-ish, spawning out on the field. Start taking that out. That second base is going to be so delayed. And on this base, the third base is very difficult to defend. I mean, look at how far away this is from that natural expansion. Alternatively, you could go up. But this is only a half base, and you have to wonder, you know, at that point, is it really worth going for this base, or do you really just want to take your natural expansion? So the engineering bay is finally going to be taken out, canceled for 94 resources of the 125 back. Definitely worth the investment to block that base for 2 full minutes. This drone now going to be able to throw down the hatchery there at his own discretion. There we go. There we go, folks. A reactor going down on that barracks now. Factory going to be almost nearing completion there. Command center going down. And everything, once again, going back to standard over in MilkyNipples space. So it looks like MilkyNipple, a little bit more standard of a player rather than cutesy of a player like Hampsters was trying to do in the preview. What the frick was that? Did anybody else see that piece of space debris, like, literally just float through the air? I don't even understand that. Tech Lab now going down on that barracks, probably going to be getting its stim pack out. I'm wondering almost if we might be seeing a some sort of Marauder Hellion push. I don't know if it's an all-in since there is going to be the second command center on the field. But I'm wondering if that's going to be the push that we are going to see. It's not the most crazy popular build ever out of Terran players, but as far as all-ins go in TvZ, it's a pretty powerful one. These Zerglings not going to have a good day trying to get up into that main base when there are Hellions sitting around here. As far as Hampsters knows, there is no second command center on the field yet, so he's going to need to be very, very careful with how he plays this at this moment. Not going to be taking a third base anytime soon, which is probably pretty smart, and really you don't see that quick of a third base too often in Zerg vs. Terran, especially when you don't know exactly what's going on. Spinecrawler is going to be dropped down up in the main base, probably going to be walked down into that natural expansion once again. Hamsters not really knowing what's going on over in MilkyNipples base. Stimpack is on the way. Not really that many bio units on the field right now, though. Only 3 Marines right now. Going to be pumping out as many Hellions as he can, as his resources will allow, but until he gets this double muling power up, he's going to be a little bit low on the mineral count. Just a little bit. And there we go. That second command center now finishing up. Probably going to be lifting up and going to the low ground there. I can't imagine it staying up here in the high ground. Unless, once again, he is going for some all-in. But at that point, why even make the second command center? So for the moment, just going to be pumping out Hellions. No Marauders, so it is not going to be that Marauder all-in or that Marauder pressure with the Hellions. Just going to be lots and lots of Hellions roasting away at the mineral line, which, when there is only Zerglings on the field to defend against it, can actually do quite a bit of damage. These Hellions just need to make sure to stay up against the wall. There are a couple of roaches on the field now, which is going to somewhat shut the Hellions down, but not really all that much. So unless MilkyNipple can really make some art happen with these Hellions, they probably won't be doing all that much damage, especially with that Spinecrawler up in that main base right there. A lot of roaches are going to be spawning out in that natural expansion there, and that's going to completely force those roaches back home. Meantime, MilkyNipple is going to be taking that natural expansion, going to be getting that command center down there, getting combat shields. Stimpack is just about to finish up, and now I believe that we might be going into that Hellion Marauder all-in, as we do have multiple barracks with tech labs on them. We do have that one, of course, factory with the reactor on it. I think that might be what we're going into with a few Marines for support. I don't know. I'm really bad at at predicting what Terrans are going to do. A couple of guys that are just now finishing up in the main base. 4 Hamsters here. Not really any tech to speak of for the moment. Lair tech just about halfway complete as I say that. Rotorn is on the field, which is going to give, of course, that little bit extra of defense there. Quite a few roaches on the field. Remember, all these units that we're seeing here are units that were not spent making larva, trying to recover his economic damage in the early game by getting that natural expansion down so late. So MilkyNipple actually in a pretty good spot economically compared to his opponent, sitting at 27 to 30 harvesters and no drone rounds coming, but double SDV production and double mule production on the field. And at that point, MilkyNipple actually knows that this attack is coming across the map right now, because he had that Hellion on the watchtower right now. It looks like Hamsters might be actually falling back home. 10 minutes into this game, and we are still, neither player has peaked 35, 40 workers, which, that should be easy for a Zerg player by this point in time. Concussor shells coming onto the field. Concussor shells kind of that upgrade in TvT that you just kind of get after you get your other upgrades, because, it's not the, you're not, against Zerg, it's not the best upgrade because there's just so many units, but, it's only 50-50. It's pretty cost effective when it comes down to it. Pretty darn cost effective. There's really still no drones being made. I know I keep coming back to that point, but there just aren't any on the field pretty much. Baneling Nest now coming down on the field. Centrifugal hooks most likely to follow. There are a lot of roaches, and those Hellions cannot afford to engage that. There is no bio support from the Marauders as well to help take those out. The Baneling Nest is going to be kind of the big defense point here for Hamsters, as there are a lot of Hellions on the field and a lot of bio. Baneling's not the greatest versus the Marauders. In fact, the Marauders are used to soak up the damage, but if he can manage to get a couple of Baneling hits off on the Hellions, it is going to make his job defending so much easier. 6 more roaches on the field. Goliath reconstitution on the way, but I think this attack might hit before that does finish up, which is going to be actually kind of a big deal. Without that movement speed of the roach, he's not going to be able to control his army nearly as well as he would want to, especially off the creep. It looks like, these Hellions, I don't know if he knows that third base is there or not, but it looks like he's actually just posing to go straight into that natural expansion. That is going to be the direction that he does indeed decide to go. There are so many Marauders with Stim on the field, though. I just can't see these roaches lasting all that long. Just getting decimated. No Banelings on the map. No Banelings even on the way there. The forces for Hamsters are absolutely dead. And what is all this stuff flying straight up into the air? I don't even know. GG. Well played on Hamster. MilkyNipples takes this series 2-0 and advances 1-0 to week number 2 in the MAeSL brackets.